Hi students and friends, welcome to the channel Learn and Teach by Ayaz. I will continue my video lesson for the topic the characteristic properties of acids and bases. So in the last video lesson, I gave you some questions to state the name of the products obtained for the following reactions. So I'm going to solve those questions first, then we will continue with our video lesson for today's SLOs. Let's begin. State the name of the products obtained for the following reactions. Hydrochloric acid plus calcium carbonate. This is the reaction between metal carbonate and hydrochloric acid. You know the products. One of the product is salt, water, then carbon dioxide. So you write water plus carbon dioxide. What about the salt produced here? You see metal is calcium here, and whenever acid is hydrochloric acid, the salt will be chloride. So you will write calcium chloride. This is the next reaction, nitric acid plus magnesium. This is the reaction between acid and metal. Whenever you get acid with metal, you will get salt and hydrogen gas. So hydrogen gas will be one of the product. So I will write hydrogen gas here. Now, in order to predict the name of the salt, we will look at the acid here. Here we have nitric acid. The salt will be nitrate, metal nitrate. We have metal magnesium. So you write magnesium nitrate. The last part of this question, sulfuric acid plus copper oxide. Now this is the reaction between metal oxide and acid. Whenever you react metal oxide with acid, you will get salt and water. So water will be one of the products. So I'm writing water on top of it. What about the name of the other product? If you look at this reactant, the reactant is copper oxide. So copper will be the metal which is reacting with sulfuric acid to produce metal sulfate. The salt will be metal sulfate. So you will write copper sulfate. Or you can even write copper 2 sulfate by looking at the valency of the sulfate ion in the compound. Okay, now let's continue with the SLOs for this video lesson. Describe the characteristic properties of acids in terms of their reactions with A, metals, B, bases, C, carbonates. State that bases are oxides or hydroxides of metals and that alkalis are soluble bases. So I've already discussed some of the reactions of acid. For example, whenever acid is reacted with metal, you will get metal salt plus hydrogen gas. And when acid is reacted with metal oxide or metal hydroxide, you will get metal salt plus water. When acid is reacted with metal carbonate or even with metal bicarbonate, you will get metal salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. I've talked about name of some acids. Now I am writing the formula for some acids here. For example, hydrochloric acid. The formula will be HCl. sulfuric acid, H2SO4, nitric acid, HNO3, phosphoric acid, H3PO4. And there are other acids also. Now, recall, whenever acid is hydrochloric acid, the name of the salt will be chloride. So, the salt must have Cl negative ion in the formula. In case of sulfuric acid, the salt will be sulfate, which means the salt must contain SO4 minus 2 ion. Similarly, for nitric acid, you will get the nitrate salt, and the salt must contain nitrate ion in the formula. Now I am writing the symbol equation this time for the reaction between hydrochloric acid and magnesium. Hydrochloric acid, the formula for hydrochloric acid is HCl. If you look at the periodic table, you will find the symbol for magnesium, which is Mg. The product will be magnesium chloride plus hydrogen gas. Hydrogen gas will be written as H2. In order to predict the formula of salt produced between magnesium and chlorine, you have to consider the valency or the group number for these elements. Magnesium is present in group 2, so it must contain +2 charge. Chlorine is present in group 7, so it must contain -1. Ignore their charges. Now these numbers will become subscripts, and these subscripts will be exchanged like this. And you will get MgCl2. For your convenience, I am writing the state symbols. Hydrochloric acid must be in water, AQ. Magnesium, solid, S. Magnesium chloride, it's an ionic compound, so it must be soluble in water, aqueous. H2 is gas, so you write G for H2. Now, this is the reaction between sulfuric acid and iron. The product is written iron 2 sulfate and hydrogen gas. Again, you can predict the formula between sulfate ion, and this time you have iron 2 plus ion. So you'll have Fe plus 2, SO4 minus 2. So you write -2 plus 2. Both the numbers are same, ignoring their charges. So these will be cancelled out to get 1. The subscript will be exchanged, and the formula will be FeSO4. So the final product will be FeSO4 plus H2. Reactant will be H2SO4 plus Fe. This is the reaction between hydrochloric acid and calcium oxide. The product is calcium chloride and water. So write the formula for hydrochloric acid, which is HCl. Calcium oxide, it must be CaO, because calcium belongs to group 2 and oxygen belongs to group 6. Now predicting the formula, that is the compound formed between calcium and chlorine. Calcium belongs to group 2, so it must carry +2 charge, chlorine -1. Ignoring their charges. Now these subscripts will be exchanged. These numbers, which are subscripts, will be exchanged. You will get CaCl2. So the product will be CaCl2. The other product is water. Note one thing, I am not balancing these equations. This is the reaction between nitric acid and potassium hydroxide. The product is potassium nitrate and water. This time you have to predict the formula between potassium ion, which is K, and nitrate ion. NO3. Potassium belongs to group 1, so it must carry +1 charge. Nitrate carries -1 charge, ignoring their charges. These subscripts numbers will be exchanged, and you will get KNO3 as the one of the product. So I'm writing the full equation here. Nitric acid HNO3 plus potassium hydroxide is KOH. KNO3 is one of the product and water is the other product. Now this is the reaction between sulfuric acid and sodium carbonate. The products are sodium sulfate plus water plus carbon dioxide. I'm writing the formula for sulfuric acid, which is H2SO4. Sodium carbonate is Na2CO3. The product is sodium sulfate. So let's predict the formula between sodium and sulfate ion. Sodium belongs to group 1, so it must carry +1 charge. Sulfate carries -2. Ignoring their charges, these subscripts 1 and 2 will be exchanged. So you will get Na2SO4. So Na2SO4, which is sodium sulfate. The other products will be water, H2O, and carbon dioxide, CO2. Bases. Bases are substances that cancel out or neutralizes acids. Cancel out or neutralizing have same meaning. It means they are cancelling out the effects of acid. Bases are oxides or hydroxides of metals such as magnesium oxide, sodium hydroxide. Some examples of bases. Now in the first statement, I just said that any substance that cancels out or neutralizes the effects of acids. So you can have any substance acting as base if it is able to cancel out the effect of acid. So you have metals, metal oxides, metal hydroxides, metal carbonates. Now I'm writing the formula for some of these. For example, you can take any metal like magnesium, calcium, iron, metal oxide like copper oxide, calcium oxide, zinc oxide, metal hydroxide like sodium hydroxide, NaOH, potassium hydroxide, KOH, calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole twice, metal carbonate like calcium carbonate, CaCO3, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, and there are so many examples, so etc. Now recall one more thing, metal hydroxides are alkalis. They are also known as soluble bases. So consider this Venn diagram. This is of bases. So within this diagram, you have to make one more circle, which is of alkali. Alkalis are soluble bases. Metal hydroxides like NaOH, CaOH whole twice, etc. Then you have bases, other bases like metal, metal oxide, metal hydroxide, metal carbonate. I am writing one example each. For metals, you have magnesium, metal oxide, calcium oxide, metal hydroxide can have potassium hydroxide, KOH, metal carbonate, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3, etc. So all these are bases. But you see, alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. Thanks for watching. Press like and comment. Share my videos. For more videos, subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.